What is going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? And what I have for you today in this video is a recap of Apple's event that took place in San Francisco today, September 9th of 2014. Excuse me if you see me looking towards the side because I have my Acer Aspire 4730Z with my notes on it. And of course, I will be displaying some pictures of the products that Apple has announced throughout the event. Alright, so let me first start off with the two I believe the biggest selling point of the event, since a lot of people has been talking about it, as well as the third product that they announced, but I'll let you guys know later in the video. So let me start off with the iPhone. So we finally got a refresh of the iPhone, but this time we got it twice. Alright? What I mean by that is Apple has announced the iPhone 6. Alright? It's a smartphone that was the after the iPhone 5S. I can't speak today, I'm sorry guys. But they also announced a bigger version, which they call it the iPhone 6 Plus. Alright? Now, I will be talking about the iPhone 6 Plus later. First, let me get the iPhone 6 out of the way. Alright, so these are the specs. So it contains the next generation Retina display, which is supposed to be high definition, with a resolution of 1335 by 750, and of course the screen size is 4.7 inches, and it has 326 pixels per inch. That's actually 38% more pixels than the iPhone 5S, and of course it's 6.8 millimeters thin. It has the second generation of the 64-bit A8 processor, 25% faster, as well as 50% the bump in terms of the graphics. Alright, it's got 50 hours of battery life, 11 hours of video, 11 hours of Wi-Fi browsing, 10 hours on LTE, and then for standby mode you have 10 days. Alright, and it features the M8 coprocessor and of course the 8 megapixel camera. So the megapixels really hasn't changed since the iPhone 4S, but however, Apple keeps improving the camera throughout the years. Alright? And as far as pricing is concerned, it actually starts out as $199, and it'll be available on September 19th. Alright? Now, without further ado, let's go on to the iPhone 6 Plus. So, it is actually a 5.5-inch display. Alright? Retina display with high definition, 1920 by 1080. So, this is a 1080p screen. Alright? And it has iron strengthened glass, 7.1 millimeters thick for the body, and the user interface for the iPhone 6 Plus is tweaked a little bit from what I've read. I guess it's for iOS 8 to take advantage of the bigger screen of the iPhone 6 Plus. Of course, it contains the 64-bit A8 chip, 20% faster, and of course 50% faster graphics. Alright, and it has an improved version of iOS 8. Alright, and the iPhone 6 will actually support VoLTE and Wi-Fi calling. VoLTE stands for Voice over LTE. Alright, and they're saying that Wi-Fi and LTE speeds improves, and the call quality has definitely improved. So we'll see how users feel about that once they actually buy these phones and try it out themselves. And as I mentioned before, it features the 8 megapixel camera, but also has actually, this is going to the iPhone 6. It's going to the digital image stabilization. Alright, it has that because it's got a new sensor, and the image stabilization is like f2.2 aperture. It has focus pixels as well as phase detection. Now, the iPhone 6, the way it's going to be shipped in terms of the configuration is going to be different. Actually, this is for the first time I've seen configurations like this. Hear me out. So, as I stated before, $199 for the lowest model in a 2-year contract, and that was a 16 gigabyte version. Alright? Now, you have 128 gigabytes. That's the maximum size right there for $399. And then 64 gigabytes for $299. So, before, for $299 you would get a 32 gigabyte, and then $399 64 gigabytes. Now Apple has bumped it up a lot, so you can actually get a 64 gigabyte version just for $300, and then to spend the extra $100 for 128 gigabytes. That's insane. in my opinion, because for you know, a phone like that, well, that's a lot of storage. Take advantage of it if you guys have the extra storage. Alright, and pre-orders will start on September 12th. Now let's get on to the iPhone 6 Plus. It has optical image stabilization, and then here is the pricing for the iPhone 6 Plus. So, on a 2-year contract, $299 for a 16GB version. I'm not surprised by that because a bigger phone is going to have like a higher pricing in it. 64GB for $399, and then 128GB for $499, and again it'll be available for pre-orders on September 12th, and it'll ship or be available on September 19th. Alright, bigger phone, more storage. Again, take advantage of it if you guys would like the extra storage. Alright, now let's talk about some new features that Apple has announced. Or actually one feature so far, I don't know. Apple Pay mobile payment services. So what does that mean? NFC is finally built into these devices, alright? And it's basically where you can store your credit card and debit card information on the phone, and of course you can use it to pay at the checkout, and it's compatible with Touch ID as well as the Passbook app built into iOS. Alright? Now let's talk about iOS 8. So a few months back, Apple has announced iOS 8 with some new features to it, and that'll be coming out on September 17th. So that's 2 days before the new phones come out. Alright, so now that we got the 2 iPhones out of the way, this is a third product for what I would call it, as well as Apple will call it, innovating into the industry. I'm not sure how they're innovating with this product, since you know, these products have been out by other manufacturers, but you could say this is innovating in terms of Apple's product line. The all-new Apple Watch, alright? So people have been referring to it as the iWatch. Now it's just the Apple Watch, alright? It contains a square design, and it's made out of stainless steel with a sapphire glass, and then they call this thing digital crown, which is basically like zooming in and zooming out. That's basically like a, you know, like the pinch and zoom feature, but except it's on a smaller screen. And I guess it's, from what I read, it's done a little bit differently than what you would normally do on a traditional iOS device. You know, iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, or whatever, iPad Mini. And one of the features it has is you raise your wrist up with the watch on your wrist. The screen wakes up so that way you can check your notifications. Alright, and it contains extra sensors in there. It has MagSafe wireless charging. Alright? WatchKit will be coming out for third-party developers. And of course, this is going to be used with fitness and then like other stuff. Now, unfortunately, Apple hasn't announced an exact date from what I read so far. And it's not going to be coming out till early next year in 2015. And it's going to be starting out at $349. So we'll have to see if there are any storage configurations for that, or you're just getting one device. It's just the way it is. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Alright? And the Apple Watch uses a new S1 chip and a heart rate monitor. Alright? Now, Apple hasn't announced just one watch, but they actually announced 3 watches. Alright? First watch was the Apple Watch, obviously. Then you have the Apple Watch Sport and the Apple Watch Edition. Alright? Let's start with the Apple Watch. It's made out of aluminum. And the Apple Watch Sport, it has like a different material. From the pictures that you've seen and I've seen, it looks more like the traditional rubber material you will find on those, you know, water-resistant watches, or, you know, the ones that don't have any metal for the wristband. All right, and the Apple the Apple Watch Edition, it's 18 karat gold. All right. Now, the only way the watch will be able to function is you need an iPhone for it. Luckily, from the iPhone 5 all the way up, which is the iPhone 5, the 5C, 5S, the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 6 Plus, will be compatible with the new watch. But anything before the iPhone 5, you're out of luck. Alright, so that's basically all I have for you guys in terms of Apple's event today. What do you guys think about these products? Are you excited? Not excited? Are you still an Android fan? Are you still a Windows fan? Microsoft, Google, whatever. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.